As you can see, my project, although it's a little above the screen, it's in a circle, and it represents the circle of faith in action. And that's basically a 3-step part of pursuing social justice and putting your faith into action. And the first phase in this is awareness. And through the awareness phase, I became aware of my Catholic social teaching theme, my injustice, and my agency. And I really got to know these issues in depth and explore them. And that's what awareness is about. The theme that I had is the life and dignity of the human person. And the specific injustice that I explored was the discrimination of humans due to their sexual orientation and or gender identification. And this is an injustice that no one at Holy Cross has done before. And I had to approach it a little bit differently than other students. I had to meet with Ms. Weekend and Ms. Cleary a few times to discuss my approach towards it and just making sure I had a mature attitude and the kind of Catholic teaching of it. So, and also I have a personal connection with this topic. A lot of people in my family and my friends are gay or lesbian, and they've experienced bullying, and it's just something that I think is completely unnecessary and preventable, so that's why I chose to tackle this injustice. So according to the U.S. Catholic Conference of Bishops, the definition of this theme basically states that all humans are equal because they have a dignity that's given from God. It's unchangeable and it's inherently given. And I think this picture presents it nicely that people rank by skill or merit versus dignity, and everyone's equal on the dignity side no matter what. The quote I chose is from Mother Teresa. I think it explains my theme pretty well. It says, "Human rights are not a privilege conferred by government. They are every human being's entitlement by virtue of his humanity. The right to life does not depend and must not be declared to be contingent on the pleasure of anyone else, not even a parent or sovereign." And this is basically saying that no matter someone's opinions or laws, it doesn't, it's not, your dignity and your right to life isn't based on someone's idealism, basically. And I think that's a very important topic. These are some injustices that fall under my theme. Abortion is the killing of an unborn child, and this involves not recognizing that fetus's worth or its sacredness in God. Euthanasia, or physicians-assisted suicide, as well as capital punishment, they both do not recognize the dignity of that person, and their life is not is deemed not worthy of living anymore. Embryonic stem cell research is using embryos for different kind of research, and it doesn't recognize that embryo's sacredness or worth in the eyes of God. And abuse, both physically, mentally, emotionally, that's kind of what my injustice falls under. It's basically viewing humans as unequal and not the same in dignity. And the Bible quote that relates to my theme is from Galatians chapter 3, verse 28. It says, "There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, there is no male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." And this quote is basically saying that no matter what you identify with, you're all a child of God. It doesn't matter what you believe, you're still equal. And this picture relates this nicely. It says, "Love God, love others, the rest are details." Here's one article I found that relates my theme with my injustice nicely. It's from the Fire Department of New York, and it gets better video. It involves the LGBT members of the FDNY sharing their personal stories and experiences about being LGBT, and it was done in an effort to combat teen suicide for LGBT individuals. And I was going to play a little bit of this clip if it lets me. It's a long clip, but it's very powerful. I think I'm going to show a couple minutes of it.
Someone out there that will hold your hand through any difficulty that you're going to have.
There are going to be moments where you're going to want to cry, you're going to want to throw things, you're going to want to break things. You might even want to hurt yourself. Don't do it.
The world eventually opens up and you get to be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. You get to be you at some point. You just have to get there.
So please hold on for one more day, because I promise it gets better.
You get better. Your soul gets better. Your spirit gets better. It gets better.
Keep moving forward. It gets better.
Give it time, it gets better.
It doesn't just get better, it gets amazing.
It got better for me, it can get better for you. Believe that it gets better.
It definitely gets better.
It will absolutely get better.
Again, and I found another article that you all might be more familiar with. It talks about how Pope Francis, when he was first, initiated as a pope, he came back from his foreign trip from Brazil, and a reporter asked him, "What's your basically stance on gay priests? What he believed about that?" And he said, "If someone is gay and he searches for the Lord and has goodwill, who am I to judge?" And I think this is a huge step in the Catholic community to embrace a more compassionate view towards these individuals, especially considering his predecessors' views are very different from this. For example, Pope Benedict XVI in 2005 said that being gay was a strong tendency towards an intrinsic moral evil, and it was an objective disorder. So Pope Francis isn't endorsing homosexuality, but he is endorsing a more compassionate view towards these individuals, which is very important. Now on to my injustice. Where is this injustice found? It's found globally, and this chart shows that nicely. The dark orange areas, so towards the Middle East and Africa, shows where homosexual acts are punishable by death. The lighter areas are where homosexual acts are illegal. The lighter blue is that homosexuality is at least legal, and the dark blue is homosexuality is, you can get married, basically. Same-sex marriage is allowed. Why is this issue a problem? Many people view homosexuality as unnatural or sinful and against church teaching. And a lot of people view people who are transgender as having mental disorders or going against God's plan for them. And I'll get into more of the teaching later, but regardless of opinions, I believe that you should treat each human being how you would want to be treated. I have some local, national, and global statistics. In Louisville, 4.5% of people in the metro Louisville area identify as LGBT, and that actually places us as 11th nationally, which is pretty high. Nationally, 92% of LGBT youth report that they hear negative messages about them, and that could be something as simple as equating the word gay with stupid. It's still offensive to them because they identify as that. And it's more easy to do that online now too. One of their greatest needs is awareness that they are a Catholic community, and they also embrace the LGBT community. And they also collect supplies for the House of Ruth, and that's a picture of one of their donations that they collected. At the end of the awareness phase, I learned kind of Louisville's place in the LGBT community, how we're 11th nationally, which is pretty high up there. I also learned of the presence of an LGBT support group within the Catholic community. And I had to approach this, I mentioned, differently in the beginning. When I chose my justice, I actually had to find my own agencies instead of being assigned them, since it was kind of an interesting injustice. So Ms. Cleary wanted me to find an agency that was within the Catholic Church rather than separated from it. And I was very surprised that I actually could find one. So that was something cool I learned. And also getting to learn the people in the group stories. I've been to several meetings, and they're all really cool people. And I hope I'm going to keep going after this is over. And my parents probably will too, because they love George. Now for the analysis phase. Analysis is exploring why this injustice happens, and it's delving into figuring out the relationships between people and social structures, and that's what a relationship map does really well. it also helps people figure out where they can take action in trying to stop or at least hinder an injustice. And it's a 4-3-2 model, and at the central question that I have in the middle is, what factors are necessary to ensure the LGBT community is treated with respect? And off to the side I have 4 main branches, and one deals with stereotypes, another deals with the church's attitude towards and their welcoming nature towards LGBT. I did a memorial dinner for the group. We honored Joe Williams, which is one of the Compassion founders who passed away about a year ago. And at this culminating event, I presented the baskets and the supplies to them, as well as the money that they could give to Evelyn, who isn't really able to come to the group anymore because she doesn't have transportation, but she was a part of it for as long as she could be. And here's some pictures of the baskets I made. I had 10 total, and they all have hand sanitizer, toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, shampoo, conditioner, deodorant, soap. Some have perfume, some have shaving cream, tissues, so a bunch of stuff are in these baskets. And in the middle, top middle, that's the representative from the House of Ruth who came to collect the baskets. And on the top right was me handing the money for Evelyn to George. Meet people where they are on their journey, and to be a compassionate person, and he's just an awesome person who's really influenced me. On the right, I was given a book and a pen that has compassion on it, and these people just have really gone out of their way to make me feel welcome, and I feel like I have a support group there. Also, this project has made me realize that pursuing social justice and things like that are going to be something I want to do for the rest of my life. Whether that's being a lawyer or just working to help people, it's something I really enjoy doing.